Hey guys, I'm Socks Party, and this is my first video, and I decided to make it a Steven Universe theory I came up with. So for this video, I'm gonna just theorize about what I think is gonna happen. I really love Steven Universe theories, and I wanted to share mine with the Steven Universe community. So I hope y'all enjoy. Also, if this does come true, spoiler alert. So there's been one question a lot of the Steven Universe fans have been asking since Reunited aired, and that question is, how will Steven convince the Diamonds he's not Pink Diamond? I feel like this could go a lot of different ways, but the theory I'm proposing will also kind of bleed into another theory I have on how Steven will finally witness his birth. So the last episode that aired when I recorded this was Together Alone, and in that episode we saw the Diamonds become upset with Steven after Steven fused with Connie. Which didn't end well at all, to be honest. Basically, the Diamonds get pretty upset at Steven, and if you keep up with news outside of the Steven Universe show, you saw the promo for Battle of Heart and Mind that aired in a Latin American country. And we get a preview of which direction the argument is gonna go with Steven and the other Diamonds. Essentially, Steven battles the other Diamonds in what we can assume is an attempt to leave Homeworld, and that's about all we know. But I think after Battle of Heart and Mind, either one of the Diamonds or both will side with Steven, and they will flee Homeworld. They will be on the run with Steven and go back to Earth to protect it from White. When everybody gets back to Earth, I feel like Yellow and Blue will join Steven, but it won't be all sunshine and rainbows, meaning Blue and Yellow will start to realize that they just challenged White Diamond and that they might have made a big mistake. So Blue and Yellow Diamond might have some trust issues with Steven, and that they will begin to question, why should I continue to support Steven when I really don't understand what Steven is or what Pink was even doing on Earth after the rebellion? Is this human really Pink Diamond, or is he something completely different? Because we just abandoned our home. I mean, can you even imagine leaving everything you knew behind for someone you cared about and you aren't even sure why? I think they will begin to ask, is this fight really worth the trouble Steven is causing? And when they get back to Earth, I feel like they will question Steven why he went against White's orders and what was he even thinking. After this, I think Steven will eventually get really upset and explain that he isn't Pink Diamond and that he wish he knew there was some way to convince them. And after that, Steven will look up and see the moon base, and what's at the moon base? The moon base projector. From what we saw in the episode Can't Go Back, we can assume the moon-based projector has been recording Earth's entire history for thousands of years. Steven will convince the Diamonds to go with him to the moon base, and there the audience will finally get to see how Steven was born, or made. I feel like it'll be a very emotional scene, and if any of the Diamonds accept Steven as Steven and not Pink Diamond, it will be Yellow. From when the audience is first introduced to Yellow, she seemed like she interacted with Pink more than the other Diamonds, and that Pink spent more time with Yellow than Blue. So when she first discovered that Pink had turned into Steven, and that Steven had Pink's gemstone, I feel like she accepted Steven as Pink because turning into Steven seemed like something Pink Diamond would do. So if she were to see the physical evidence of what happened to Pink, Yellow Diamond would realize from a very logical perspective that this matches up with how Pink Diamond would act around her. That Pink had a weird way of expressing herself and had weird ideas other than what Homeworld wanted from her. So I feel like Yellow would say, yeah, this is Pink, but it's not Pink, and that maybe she wanted to become human and she wanted Steven to exist. However, if Blue sees Pink turn into Steven, I think she won't accept it, and I think Blue will become more emotional about the whole situation, and she'll think to herself, how could Pink have left us? It doesn't make any sense why she'd want to turn into Steven. She'll reject this whole situation with Pink, and in turn, she'll eventually reject Steven because she won't accept Pink's decision on having Steven. So from this point, I think it might take a little more convincing or possibly an emotional testament to help convince Blue Diamond. And I think the perfect way of appealing to Blue is the videotape that Steven watched with Sadie. The one where Rose was talking to Steven about how she felt about having Steven and that she wanted Steven to exist. Steven will find this tape and show it to Blue Diamond, and then she'll finally see how Pink felt about having Steven. Things will get very emotional, and Blue will finally think Pink cared so much about creating Steven that that was her final wish, and that she'll end up accepting Steven just as Yellow will. I really hope this happens because I feel like the show likes to have a lot of relationship arcs where one character is fighting another and both can't move forward until both characters have a heart-to-heart conversation. And it makes sense. I mean, if I was Blue and Yellow Diamond, I would need a little more information to process Steven's existence. And I feel like the show made it to where Yellow and Blue kind of just accepted the situation without questioning everything, and that might be because the show is only 15 minutes long, or that the Crooniverse will address it later. But yeah, I enjoyed this video and I hope to make more theories in the future, but I really wanted to take time to talk about this particular theory because I didn't see anybody talking about it, and I think it is a very possible idea that this could potentially happen. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Socks Party out.